Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming. I'd like to call to order Economic Development Planning Committee. The members on that committee are myself, Robert Headwell, Dannon Wilson, John Duchessi, and Michael Pepp for voting purposes. Do we have anything to come before us today or up for discussion? If we don't, I'd like to move on to the proposed resolutions. The first resolution is a resolution appointing a member to the Montgomery County Capital Resource Corporation and Economic Development Planning.
That's right.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion? All in favor of moving it to full legislative body, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstained? So moved. The next resolution is a resolution to make Montgomery County Legislature the lead agency in Agriculture District Number 2. Mr. Kelly?
I'll second it.
Mr. Pepp? Any discussion? All those in favor of moving it to the full legislature?
Aye.
Do?
I was looking at the attachment. And this will be filled out at the time of the,
This isn't secret, this is the Ag District.
okay, aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Abstained? So moved. The next one is this resolution establishing negative declaration and a secret determination for review of Agricultural District Number 2. Is there any discussion? Amanda has information on it. She's going to go through the process with us. Do we want to do it after we get a sponsor? Do we have a sponsor? Second, Mr. Kelly and Mr. Sweet. So, Amanda, if you wouldn't mind, would you like to go through that with us?
Yes, so this is just for part 2 of the secret review on the Ag District 2 update. So it's 8-year review period. And so if you want, I can just run through part 2, and if you have any discussions, I can answer questions. But either no, or small impact, or moderate to large impact is up for your debate. So it's, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? And again, this is just a plan update. There was only 3 parcels being added in this year and 3 parcels being removed, so there's no major changes.
Not on every item. So, just discussing with council is that as we go through each item, if you want to discuss any of those items or feel that there's some impact on them, then let's discuss each item. If not, we'll just take a breath and then go on to the next one. If no one says anything, then we'll get to the end and approve it, correct? All right.
So, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause establishment of a critical environmental area? Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies or public-private wastewater treatment utilities? Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources? Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? And will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
So is that it? Okay, any discussion?
We have to decide if it's a small impact or a large impact for each of those questions.
Or no impact?
Or no impact? And I think by not, we were saying that there's no impact.
Okay, so
Right.
is that the consensus of everybody that that would be no impact for each of those items? Maybe ask
Amanda, under your review, did you find anything that would change it from no impact?
No, as stated previously, this was a small year for updates. There was only 3 small parcels being included, which only accounted for 38 additional acres being included and 3 parcels being removed in the town of Mohawk. So nothing drastic during this 8-year.
Thank you, Amanda. So we should just move it to full board for approval next month?
Yep, if there's no other, does anyone have any other questions about the seeker or any more information on that?
And where were the parcels in the town?
It was 3 of the parcels that are
Yeah, that's
potentially being in it.
Okay. So
Right on the border.
if there's no further discussion, we could vote on moving this to full board for approval. All those in favor of moving it forward?
Aye.
Anybody a no? Or anybody abstaining? All right, thank you. The next is to set a public hearing for the Ag District Review. Public hearing concerning the proposed modification was it? Thank you. Second, Mr. Sweet. All those in favor of moving it to full legislator?
I have a question
Okay.
for Legislator Kelly. Now, each of these agencies put forth their...
We're not on that one yet.
No discussion.
Thank you, Chair. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstain? Thank you. The next is making appointments to the Farmland Protection Board.
I'll sponsor.
Mr. Pep,
Second.
Mr. Headwell, is there any discussion? Chair? if you
For
would.
Legislator Kelly, do these, like, individual agencies put forth their person, or how is it? Like, obviously, we,
Club Bureau, yeah.
how about like our professional farmland protection board? Or something? Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor? Say aye. Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Resolution is moved. Is there any other further discussion? If there's no further discussion, can I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Headwell,
Second.
second by Mr. Peck. It's adjourned at 6:10.
Right.
Public safety.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Legislator is,
They're usually not in order, so.
Now you go first.
Last time, I think you were
I had to change it for Legislator Patel.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee meeting in order. Is there any discussion? It's the only missing from the committee tonight is Dan Wilson, right? He's out tonight, so. All right, if there's no discussion, can I have a sponsor for the first resolution to establish a temporary records management clerk in the probation department?
Sponsor.
Mr. Sweet, chairman? I can call you chairman, right?
Sure.
Okay. All in favor?
Discussion.
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 Discussion, I'm sorry, okay. All right, let's have discussion on that. And I had a couple of questions.
I'm here.
Is this summer help? Is that what that's going to wind up being for you, or?
Well, depending on when we can get a candidate. It doesn't have to be summer, it can be anytime during the year. Sooner the better.
Okay, so you're not looking for just the 3 months out of the summer then, right? It's just a 3-month job though, then it will be
Right.
over with, okay? And the reason for it is it's such a backlog that you have, or?
Right. Well, we changed to a new filing system when we moved to the new building. I had files in regular filing cabinets, now it's lateral files. All of my files have to be changed to lateral files. There's a lot of them, hundreds.
Yes, sir.
I see that right now it's only allotted for about $2,900. If the person does get hired right away, is that enough to take the person to the end of the job?
I'm thinking 3 months, part-time, 12 weeks, and I think the salary's like $12 an hour.
Any other questions? Shall we move it to full board?
Yes, I will.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anyone opposed? We move it to full board. Next resolution is amending the 2017 operating budget, accepting safe harbor funds for youth ATI and veteran services.
I'll sponsor.
You're well, can I get a sponsor, Mike? Okay, and a second, Martin, okay. And let's open it for discussion. You want to speak on that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So through a contact that I have at the New York State Office for Children and Family Services, I was made aware of this program, which essentially, as it is stated in the resolution, committed to preventing human trafficking in New York State. This is specifically aimed at prevention related to sexually exploited youth. This is a program that has been incorporated in Herkimer County, and actually, unfortunately, came in handy when they had a young person that was essentially kidnapped, taken to California, and was brought into the world of human trafficking. And it actually provided some resources for them to go to California and find the person and bring them back. So I was made aware of this through, frankly, someone that I know that works at Children and Family Services, and was asked if we'd be interested in participating in this program. I was given some information on how actually this occurs more than you think, and especially, and a lot of times we think that human trafficking, in this area maybe isn't a big issue, but it happens. So this is the first phase. This year would be a $23,000 grant that we essentially can work with our youth department, as well as we're looking at potentially Catholic Charities to do some educational awareness and outreach to inform people that this does happen, look at the warning signs and things of that nature, and it would progress through the next couple of years and would grow as a program that's funded by state OCFS. So I think it's a very positive thing on a tough issue, and should we ever run into this in a real serious way, I think this will help us be better prepared to handle it. So I would encourage you to support it.
Do we have any other questions? Mr. Patel?
So there's no new jobs created by it. It's basically cost neutral.
Yeah, and essentially the first year, really the workload on the county would be administering the contracts and ensuring that the proper outreach is done. One of the things that they're looking for us to do is to hold an outreach event And what we're anticipating in doing, because I had that same concern, is likely contracting potentially with a group like Catholic Charities to help get that done. So in years 2 and 3, in the next subsequent phases, there could be growth in the program depending on how but we're not committed to anything beyond the first year.
Thank you.
Okay, should we take a vote on this? Coming into full board? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? 4. Okay, so we move it to full board. Our last resolution, I guess that we have, is resolution authorizing extension of the public safety mutual aid agreement between Montgomery County and Fulton County Sheriff's Office. And I believe this was, you explained it to me, it was a 5-year. We should have the sheriff or deputy here, but under sheriff, but I don't feel this is a 5-year agreement, correct? We're in the 5th year.
It's an extension of
So
the
actually,
5-year.
yeah, so this is the last year. Do we have a sponsor for that? Martin, you're sponsoring everything tonight. I'll be seconding that. Okay, all right. What discussion do we have on that?
I have something.
Go ahead, Mr. Pep.
I just wanted to comment on the financial impact disclosure, which is vague, nebulous, and brief. None unless used. You know, kind of contrary to what we're trying to establish on a go-forward basis here. Now, I mean, I understand the gist of it on the comment that we're not going to know how much money it's going to involve unless we have to put it into place. So it's not a matter of quantifying a dollar amount, but perhaps an explanation as to if it is used, you know, how it's enforced, you know, what its potential impact could be.
Would you like to add an amendment on that resolution to state that, or?
Well, I just wanted to bring it to the floor for discussion, and that's at this point.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Pertel?
Legislative budget that we're trying to increase communication, increase accountability. Certainly, this is the comments that we were trying to do away with, get something more productive.
Okay. Shall we vote on it, or you want to move it to full board, or do you want to table it, or what do you guys want to do? Get what you want on it, it's up to you.
Can somebody amend it
Next week.
before the full board meeting?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk to the sheriff and get that taken care of.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wish he would have been here tonight for it too, so. I don't know if he's on vacation for this weekend. Okay, all right, do you want to vote to move it to full board and with the idea we're going to get an amendment by that time, or?
Sure.
Okay, all in favor? All opposed? And we'll see, and Matt will take care of that for you, Mr. Beth. What?
Thank you, Legislator Isabel.
Were there any abstains? Abstentions? Okay, I think there were, so. Okay. Any other things to discuss tonight for public safety? Thank you, Martin, for your support. And the meeting's, what's all in favor of adjourning the meeting?
I'll second that.
Okay. Now, all in favor? Okay. I gotta do this once.
Now you're up.
Yeah.
Did it pass? Next.
Call the Physical Services Committee meeting to order at 6:20. Legislator Wilson can't be with us this evening, so I'll go through the resolutions. Do we have any discussion for Physical Services? Hearing none, we'll move on to the 3 resolutions. Resolution to award bid proposal Titan Roofing for replacement of roof at Montgomery County Public Safety Buildings. Looking for a sponsor and a second.
I'll second.
Legislator Pep, Legislator Headwell. Discussion.
This is not the old.
portion. Hope so.
Okay.
Commissioner, you have any, can you fill us in on the roofing for the replacement at the public safety building?
It's on the old portion.
Yeah.
We're not replacing the new one yet.
And if you remember, this is the roof that when we looked at it, we found that the insulation that was supposed to be underneath was never actually put there, so it's certainly much needed.
Several leaks up there.
Or who's the second one?
What was it?
And the head well. He's coming
Legislator Patel.
Thank you. So we might have looked at bids before, but can we get copies of the bids before this goes before the full board?
Yeah, I thought wasn't they all attached to the, part of the attachment, the bid counts?
Let's see.
I think the bid counts are all in there,
All right.
but I can make sure to send them over again.
They are attached.
They are attached to the resolution.
Yep, there. Can you print them out for, okay, any further discussion? Just before we go to the vote, I'll just tell you who's on the committee. Legislator Kelly, Headwell, Duchessis, and Isabel. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Full board. Next resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an intermunicipal agreement for leachate disposal with the village of Cantor area.
Sponsor.
Legislator Kelly, Legislator Isabel. Discussion.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Again, financial impact, just a commentary. It would be nice, I mean, I read the agreement and saw that, you know, how much we're charged per ton, et cetera, but within that financial impact statement, it would be an enhancement to indicate at the very least the dollar level it's been running us, or last year, or just to give us an idea how many dollars are involved in this? Sure. In this instance, to quantify it.
Yeah,
You know.
and even a little more background on the post-closure work, which is done as a three-county entity. We do the work for the other two counties. We provide a little bit of that background in there for you.
I'm just personally just looking, you know, I'd like to know, on average, what it runs us. You know, costs of, you know, X, you know, paid jointly, that type of thing.
And we did look it up from last year to this year, and the rate's the same, .0425. So there's no increase, but we do need a, as you mentioned, a dollar amount.
Yeah, just so we can wrap our arms around it a little. Thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Abstention? Full order. Next resolution authorizing the county executive to sign it. Oh, was that the one I did? Let's see. I did that one, all right. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an intermunicipal agreement between the village of Canjo wastewater treatment plant and the Montgomery County Sanitary District Number 1 for sludge treatment disposal. Legislator Kelly. Legislator Sweet. And I think we looked that up too, and the rate is the same, but we will get a dollar amount. Legislator Pat.
That was going to be my question.
Okay.
We can ballpark what that small cost savings would be. I mean, if we're capable of commenting on it, you know, in general terms, there must be an ability to quantify it a little bit.
Definitely. Exec, did you take care of that one also?
We also have another contract for transportation too.
Would be
Is there another contract?
leachate transportation?
No, for this,
The sewer district contracts, that was passed.
yeah.
I wasn't aware of one for this.
No.
No, not for this month, that's it, but we also have one for transportation too.
I believe so.
All those in favor of moving to the full board, say aye. Opposed? Abstention? Move it to full board. All right, let's do anything else. Motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, second. Legislator Patel, are you bidding it? Adjourned.